think if this was actually happening, the government would be fucking tripping. Like
Yeah,
they'd be,
terrified.
you know, there'd be like a lot more anxiety. There'd be a lot of like, should we shoot it? Like, you know, there's like a lot like they just like completely skipped all that. We're like, let's go to the Maestro Orchestra.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Podcast Assemble, the show where you come for your rambling, geeky download. My name's Tommy, and I'm delighted, as always, to be joined by my friend and co-host who is across the pond. It's DL, everybody. How are you, mate?
Dude, are you sure you're not across the pond? It's like I'm in Aussie land right now. I'm in a tank top.
We're across ponds from each other.
Muggy.
Dude, I needed to call it that tank top immediately. Like, that is that is a look.
Yeah, I just didn't care. I didn't really care. There's just like this. You get to a point where like comfort, you know, in this heat.
Dude,
I haven't
100%.
slept well in like 2 nights in a row, and it's just like you're just sitting in sweat. It reminds me of this. There was like a stint first year in the place that we have where we didn't have AC.
Oh,
in,
yeah.
you know, Australia, and like top floor, sun on both sides of the house all day. And I just remember like 5 days straight, it was like I haven't slept. And I just had to I had to do a Melbourne trip just to get to a hotel. I was like, I'm going to visit a customer. I was like, I need to sleep. And I literally like bought a customer coffee and then just went to the hotel and slept in the AC.
Oh, amazing. I don't know if Gail's like this, but my fiance, like, she would be in bed with the like doing the quilt on at that point. She would be like wrapped up like this, and I'm like dying of sweat, like on the side, just like lying there awake for 24 hours. And she'd be like, "Oh, it's cold." I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I think in like this weather, there's just like no one that's cold. It's like that hot.
She's a crazy person. She's literally a crazy person. But I do love the look for you. You should totally bring this back sometime. Like, I feel like this should be your new thing. I've seen that before.
I can't wear this.
Is that an old tank top?
I've had this tank top for like 5 years.
Yeah, you definitely have. I've definitely seen it before.
Because I live in London. Yeah. But it's not like a new thing. I don't have many new clothes other than what I bought in Japan. Fire clothes.
What did you get in Japan? Wait, when did you go to Japan? Have we talked about this?
We probably would have. Yeah, I went in March.
I don't know if we have. Oh man, that's epic. What did you buy?
Or no, sorry. I went in April, right after the Sydney trip. We definitely talked about it. What did I buy? Just a bunch of clothes, man.
The fashion of it is so cool.
I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, you did talk about the sushi.
Yeah, I got a couple deals. I'm like, can these be real so I can go fly out and go back to my favorite little sushi freaking stall? Anyway, how about you, man? How's life?
I would love a reason to fly out to Japan. That would be like a customer thing. Fuck yeah, I'm down. Any of that stuff. My manager went out recently for like an offsite. And she came back and she's like, we need to do more offsites abroad. And I was like, this is the energy that I need you to bring every day of the week. Why aren't we doing this all the time? Because our team, we don't do fun stuff. Saying fun stuff though,
bummer.
We did just get back from Tassie. So me and the partner spent a beautiful week in Tassie. And I shit you not, I've not felt that like good, like rested, like as if I've, you know, taken time to sleep and eat and watch a sunset and a sunrise and drank good wine, maybe in like 10 years. I felt like a new man. And then I was saying this to you just before, then we did Dark Mofo, which is an arts, music and food festival. It's put on by the guy who created Mona. I don't know if you know anything about Tassie.
I was going to say, is it at Mona? Is it that's fucking crazy place?
It's through Hobart, so it's like all around Hobart. So they like lock off bits of the town and stuff, and they do like these crazy art shows. And it's a bit like if they did Vivid, but it was the sort of dark, the dark sister of Vivid, who loves a rave cave.
Is it as busy?
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
Busy.
No, it's not. It's not like that busy.
Vivid is so fucking busy, man. Anyway.
You've got to pay for like most things at Dark Mofo. So like if you want to go to one of it's gigs and stuff. So like there was a guy, what's his name? Daniel Avery, who go look him up. But he did like he's a really good like tech house DJ. We went to see his set, but he did like quite a weird niche set for for Dark Mofo. It had like, it was almost like a rock concert with elements of tech house thrown in. It was really different. But that's what it does. It kind of inspires people to try new and different things that are aligned to the festival. So it was really good. And I ruined that. So like I peaked on like the Friday, and then we went out till like 2 a.m. and I'm now back to the level that I was at before I left. So I'm just back to back to the standard level that we run at as tech bros. Guys, before we carry on, if you want to stick around to listen to us chat about our weeks, feel free. There will be time codes in the description, as always, supplied by Ava Ramshaw of avaramshaw.com. She's awesome. And if any of this sounds or looks good, that's because she is an excellent editor, not because we actually look good. I look tired as fuck right now. It's 6 a.m. Good to know. But yeah, stick around, guys, and give us a 5-star review while you're down there. DL, mate, what have you been up to? You've had all this time. You're doing so many things. I'm obviously being a little bit sarcastic there. Time. I'm being very facetious.
Yeah. I did fly around a bit from like New York and stuff. So what did I do? You know what I watched? I watched a movie on the flight called London's Calling or something.
London
with Colin
Falling?
Farrell and Keira Knightley.
Oh.
London is Calling.
I've never heard of that.
Or London Calling? Neither had I. London Calling.
So talk me through it. What is it?
It's like a gangster movie.
Oh. I don't see a Colin Farrell movie by that name. There's one with...
London Boulevard. What am I saying? London Boulevard.
Oh, so man. This came up on my to-watch list recently.
Cast.
Yeah, it's cute. This is like the British... Oh, the tin's back. What do we got this week? This is a stacked British, like, gangster cast almost. Ray Winston, yeah.
It's got Professor Lupin, Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What a cast.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Good movie. I mean, like,
do you recommend?
For how little I'd heard of it,
yeah,
I was expecting it to be terrible. You know, when you have a cast like that, I'm like,
totally.
I haven't heard of it. It's probably going to be bad. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I liked it, actually. It had weird moments. It doesn't bring a ton of new shit to the table. The dynamic between Keira Knightley and like Colin Farrell is quite interesting.
Okay.
And very, very
how
understated. It's like not the point of the movie, but it's like got enough there that you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of actors just like playing really fun characters.
So it's not a traditional love story.
You know what it is? It's a I don't want to spoil it too much, but so if you want to go watch it, like don't listen to what I'm about to say, but it's a pretty old movie, so I don't feel bad about it. It's like an interesting thing where like you always see these stories of like the guy who it gets pulled back in and he's like he's coming out of jail and he doesn't want to do it, but he has to, and like that's like the trope. And then it becomes something a bit more where it's like, I actually, like, you don't want me, like, this guy's forcing him to try and be a gangster. He's like, you don't want me to be a gangster because if I end up being a gangster, I'm just going to kill you. Like, he's like, stop fucking with me. I'm out. And he keeps fucking with them. And then
Colin Farrell's character.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
What else? I think that's probably it. I saw 2 episodes of From, which I think I told you about.
Well, you said you'd watched 1 episode last time. How's that going?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's still, I'm undecided.
Oh, really? People are loving that.
Keep watching. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep watching. So
I'm trying to find. So there's a movie. So like that it's so interesting because that movie that you're talking about keeps popping up on my Prime whenever I'm on there. And I'm like, there's another one which is Cillian Murphy and Brendan Gleeson, and it's like it looks like a similar vibe-ish, except Cillian Murphy's more of like he's been set up by the mob and has to go and do a job, a one last job type thing for them. Here it is. Perrier's Bounty. Perrier's Bounty. And it keeps coming up on my again, same thing, like on like Prime or whatever. And I'm like, this is such a stacked cast. Like, it looks insane. Yeah. I'm like, I need to watch this. So it's obviously Cillian Murphy, Brendan Gleeson, Jim Broadbent's in it. It's got like Jodie Whittaker. It's like Domhnall Gleeson, Liam Cunningham, who's the Onion Knight from Game of Thrones. It's like such a stacked cast. Yeah. I'm like, how have I never heard of this? Like, this should be, everyone should know what this is. And I keep going like, I'm going to watch it, but I need like that plane ride you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, the flight to Tassie was like just under 2 hours, so it wasn't quite enough to get really into a movie. So I was like, I really don't have time. So I ended up watching a bunch of YouTube crap. But I was like, that's in a similar vibe. So if you recommend going away and watching an unexpectedly good movie, I'm down.
Yeah, I am.
I'm putting it on the list, DL. It's on the list.
Yeah, put it.
Now I've just got to convince
on the list
the beautiful fiance to watch it. Yeah, I'll tell you a thing we watched actually. So for the other podcast, for No Country for Old Films, we are trying to find time to record Toy Story. Because obviously Toy Story 5 is coming out in cinemas. So we're doing Toy Story the first from 1995. We found time while we were away to watch it. And I had honestly forgotten how amazing that film is. Like, genuinely.
They're all pretty damn good, but the first one and the second one are fucking amazing, I think.
Well, interesting, because we watched the second one as well, and I don't even remember. I remember I've definitely seen it, but I don't really remember the story of it. Like, I remember Jesse and whatnot, but I'd totally forgotten everything. Yeah. But Toy Story 1...
Zurg.
Yes, right. I reckon I've not seen Toy Story 1 in 15 years, if it's a day. And it was crazy because I don't necessarily remember having it like on VHS at home. I don't remember like owning it per se, or, you know, even potentially seeing it on you know, TV. But the minute that film started, dude, I knew every single word. I was sitting there and I was like, to infinity and beyond. We were sitting in bed in Tassie, like watching this fucking film. And I was like, this is the best. It was like a warm hug. I'd totally forgotten how good it was.
Dude, there's a lot of Disney movies that are like that. If you go back, where you're just like, man, I don't mind watching. Like, I actually like it. I'm at the place in my life where like there's so much responsibility and stress sometimes, and it's just like going back to some childhood nostalgia is not,
dude.
You know,
it's how to make your money.
It. We had, we watched Totoro the other week. I think I told you about that.
No, what's Totoro?
That was a throwback. Totoro is like
TAT.
I should know the guys. Same guy that did Spirited Away, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Studio Ghibli.
Totoro.
How do you spell it? T-O-T?
One of his... Oh, God, I don't know. Totoro. Yeah, Totoaro. Totoro. If you just look up his catalog, it's one of the top 4. And you'll see it.
So it's the Studio Ghibli guy?
Yeah, it's a child story about like a summer in Japan where like they find this mystical creature and it's these 2 kids exploring the forest, and it's just like I just remember the songs as a kid and they were just like so catchy and fun.
Because I didn't watch any of those films as a kid. That's super cool. Yeah. I really like.
I didn't watch any of them other than this one.
Okay,
so yeah,
I'm trying to think because we watched one of them recently. What's the one where the kid goes to the town? Is it Spirited Away where the kid goes to the town and everyone turns into ghosts?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Yeah, no, we watched it recently. I was like, so my fiance, I was like, oh, we should totally watch this. And she was like, oh, why would we watch a cartoon? Classic. The classic response. And we watched it and it was, you know, it was packed with emotion. It was super like interestingly done. Like the animation style super cool. So like, yeah, I need to watch more of those films, man. Totoro, you say?
Totoro. Have you found it yet?
I haven't found it.
It's in theaters right now.
Are you sure it's a Studio Ghibli guy?
I don't know. I'm not, but I'm pretty sure it's the same guy as Spirited Away. Totoro. Oh, it's one word. Totoro. God, this is great watching.
It's great watching. I love
My
this.
Neighbor. Oh, it's called My Neighbor Totoro. My bad.
Ah, that's why. I'm gonna have to watch this. 1988. Some of these films, man. Oh yes. This is the other one I've been waiting to watch. It's got a different name. I've totally forgotten the name is, but it like isn't it supposed to, I'm not going to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen My Neighbor Totoro, but the storyline is supposed to be very very melancholy, let's say.
It is. It's but it's like also a story about kind of nothing. Like it's a melancholy story, but it's like I think it's like a story about like I would argue it's a story about a kid having like the bubble burst on like having their first really traumatic thing happen in their life. And then like the things that happen that like while you're still a child and you're feeling that, how do you find escape? And it's like it's not like a it's kind of coming of age, but it's more just like this investigation of that feeling in a world where you're still a kid and you can still like get away from it, but it kind of creeps back sometimes. And I don't know, I really like it. It was one of those ones that was just playing all the time at our house. So
it's one of those that, I mean, like further rewatches, people see like deeper thematic meaning in it. Like, is she dead all along and all that kind of thing. So it'd be interesting to maybe look at some of those types of theories and watch back with that mindset. Because I mean, I always love doing that. I always love like, when they're like, watch out for this bit, and you see like, I don't know, there's a thing that indicates the person might have been,
The art design's amazing, though. It's just like really, really unique, and the songs are really awesome. And the only thing is May, and it is quite annoying. She like anytime she squawks, anytime she squawks is like a Freudian slip there. She's yelling. She's always squawking like like that's like it's like that kind of anime. Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah. Spirited Away is a little bit like that. Some of the characters are very fucking annoying, but I think that's just anime. Friend of the show, Jacob, is obsessed and keeps trying to get me into like action animes, like Attack on Titan and those types of things. I'm down, but it's all an extra. It's all an extra paid streaming service over here. So you got to buy this thing called Crunchyroll, and I'm like, I can't. Oh God, I don't want to do another one. You know what I mean?
It makes me want sushi. I'm getting sushi tonight.
Let's go back to Japan, baby. Oh dear.
Yeah.
So I totally recommend going back and watching Toy Story if you want that nostalgia hit, dude. Yeah. It's so all of it. I got a snake in my boot. There's so many like quotable lines, like.
Man, you are really repping the OG lines here. To Infinity and Beyond, and I got a snake in my boot.
Mate, there's so many good lines in it. Look, guys, if there's anything you recommend, feel free to send us over. You can find us at Instagram, Podcast Assemble. Wait, that's the wrong way around. You can find us at Podcast Assemble on Instagram. That's I knew there were words there. Or TikTok, all the places. You can find us everywhere. Or send us a Gmail. We're at podcastassemble@gmail.com. I know words today, DL. I've done this before. Let's talk about our main topic.
It's the main topic theme.
Let's do it. So this week we're doing Close Encounters of the Third Kind in preparation for
Disclosure Day, baby.
D-Day?
Yeah,
Disclosure Day. Both movies that were directed by Steven Spielberg. Both of them.
That's why we're doing it.
The new one's directed.
And full disclosure.
Like, it or something.
Full disclosure. I don't think I'd seen this before. This might be on our list of movies you should have seen but haven't list.
Yeah, every time I see it, I kind of fall asleep. This one, but I've seen it twice, and this time I did as well. I didn't know I'd seen it though, because my dad made me watch it when I was a kid.
I mean, it is like a classic of the genre. Like, it is held up as one of the great sci-fi movies, and I can see why, and I think we'll talk about it a little bit. But before we do you have a stupid plot summary?
Yeah, this is just your average JRE episode discussion. Basically, like, download this movie and transcribe it, like Gen AI it, and it's like a Joe Rogan episode.
Literally.
Sorry, I didn't put too much thought into this one, but it literally is. It's just like,
yeah, mine's exactly the same. It's just man sees UFO.
As well.
Yeah. Literally, it goes on for so long. Mine is just man sees UFO becomes his entire personality. Like, literally, like that. It's exactly the same vibe.
I guess you would too, kind of. Like if you actually saw what he saw, this is the part that I found like interesting. It's like probably would go a bit crazy.
Well, tell me the TLDR for this. What's the what kind of happens in this film?
They don't do a lot of explaining, to be fair. You're kind of just thrust in. Have you noticed that about the film?
And I really like that.
Yeah, they didn't. There's not a lot of lore. You basically just follow a couple different storylines, like two people that kind of have an experience where they clearly see something that is
PTSD.
a UFO. Like, there's no debating it. Like the movie makes it very clear that this is like something weird. And they have like,
I mean, you practically almost see it. Like the only thing it could be is like a low flying helicopter at that time. But
yeah,
it's definitely
do. You know, it's something weird.
You know what it is.
And multiple different people have this kind of experience. The movie starts with what actually were they doing, and where were they, in France somewhere? And there was like somebody that had been stolen, and they were investigating a disappearance or something.
So it kicks off, and they're in Mexico, and some aircraft appear, which are from 50 years before or something. And the pilots are all gone, and it's this shady government agency that are checking this out. And they're realizing that it is aircraft which has been thrown back into the world from alien spaceships.
Yep.
And
well, they don't know that yet, though.
Well, but they're putting two and two together. They're a bit like these went missing in the 50s and they're in perfect condition. And then the story then carries on with a different plotline, which, as you were saying, is Ray. God, I've forgotten his name.
I forget their names. Yeah,
I think it's
but
Roy.
that guy has issues, to be honest.
That's terrible.
He abandoned his family so fast.
I was gonna say the same thing. Roy,
Dude.
sorry, Roy.
And then like not only abandoned them, like literally got over them and like made out with some other girl.
I was going to say the same. Oh my god! So the start for this,
I was like,
literally follows Roy as he falls into obsession. Let's say he becomes obsessed with an experience he has, as do other people around the world, and he is trying to find this thing that's been implanted in his brain that kind of looks like a mountain. And he's going crazy trying to build this structure, and his family are like, going, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" And it's so interestingly done for the time, because like I don't remember a lot of movies from the 70s and early 80s that explore that sort of obsession from a male perspective. It's really interesting. I feel like you get a lot of that with like females being like obsessed with guys, but at this time it's like this guy's had an experience and it becomes his whole fucking life. And you say it would, like it probably would, but I think nowadays, and actually Disclosure Day, which I'm not going to spoil because I have actually seen it at this point, does explore some similar themes in a way, just not as well. But yeah, I don't know. Would it become your whole personality? Would you be on Joe Rogan telling him about your experience?
Probably, if you have me.
He'll have anyone at this point. He's done the whole world.
I don't know if I don't know if he would. I don't know if it would become a whole personality, but like if it was that crazy, where it was like a light and I had like a sunburn. So like this guy, I mean, he's not really concerned about his health. Would you say? Like he's kind of like got all these crazy things that happen to him, and he's not really worried about it.
He's not worried about his family either.
Some ointment.
Listen to this, right? So this is Steven Spielberg's run of movies around that time, and it's interestingly a little hit and miss, because I think you think of Spielberg at this time and you just think hit after hit, but there are so many good films in this. So he starts with Jaws the year before this, so 1976. He then goes into Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1941, which I don't really remember. He then does Raiders of the Lost Ark. He then does E.T. He then does the Twilight Zone movie. He then does Indiana Jones: The Temple of Doom. So this is like an all-time run. Like there's one in there which is a bit dodge, but like Christ, imagine he is like at the absolute peak of his powers at this point. So it's interesting that this comes early in that run. So this must kick him off.
Yeah, he must have been inspired by something for this. I mean, I don't know. So much of it is traditional, like UFO lore, that like I don't know if it's like
traditional now
defined it or
exactly.
Like, that's what I don't understand. Like I can't imagine if this is like defined by mythology or this helped define the mythology. But
well, here's a question: Could you imagine seeing this in cinemas in 1977? Like, so leading up to this, the reason why
I tried to do when I was watching it, the
reason why this was so compelling at the time, let's say, was because like aliens were just monsters back then in films. Like that's all they were. They were the monster of the week. Whereas this presented them as like mysterious and awe-inspiring and like a reason for people to come together. And it was
almost
so
a spiritual
different.
experience.
Totally.
You know?
I feel like he really flipped a genre with this and made you feel like, interestingly, and I don't want to go too deep into it, but like interestingly, that part you just said about it almost been spiritual or even mystical, that kind of gets explored a little bit more in Disclosure Day. So I wonder if Disclosure Day is almost like a sleeper sequel to this in many ways. It's really interesting. It kind of just feel like it's him going back to it. But the question I have to ask you, DL, is with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, if you could change everyone in this into Muppets and keep one human character, that's a real weird question. Who are you keeping in this one?
There's always a list. Is it like odd that I'm going to say the French guy just because he's so earnest?
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Earnest dude. Well, like all the fucking Muppets are just like, well, take me to the aliens.
You just got little Kermit running next to him. Take me with you. Francois Truffaut. Yeah, great. Love that. I kind of like it to be Ronnie as well, so the female counterpart, because she had the experience, but she's not compelled. She's different, right? She's not compelled to go and find this structure.
No, because
necessarily.
She's kid.
They fucking took her kid. I'm like, she's all these Muppets running around.
Different incentive, yeah.
Let's find the mountain. She's just like, no, I need to find my kid. So shut up. I love that. That's great. I do like the French guy though, and I actually quite like that so one of the things I really enjoyed about watching this film was it felt like a really lived-in world. Like you mentioned it before, you just kind of thrown in. I think that's a problem I kind of have with a lot of movies now is you join a story, but the world kind of starts when you join. It doesn't feel lived in. It doesn't feel like there's stuff that's happened before. But these characters, they know each other. They're talking over each other. Some of them are meeting for the first time, but it feels like they're really meeting for the first time. And this had that in spades. And I really like that. It felt really established.
Yeah. I can't tell what I'd like about if I like the fact that there's just like no real meaning. And that's kind of the point. I guess you could say there is a meaning if you look at the end, but like so much of it is more about like the awe than the actual like what's the plot.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And that's probably like purposeful.
I guess it kind of really zones in on that human nature of needing to know more. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what it literally it explores. Like, what's the cost worth?
The human cost of it, totally.
Yeah. At what point is like
when do you leave your wife for this random
compromising?
chick?
Yeah. Apparently, 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, literally.
But I have a question for you because this is like what it's like asking. Like, is it like do you believe in aliens?
In aliens? Good question. Me and the fiance actually had this conversation literally last night because we watched this together, and there's that old sort of adage which is more scary, the fact that we're in this like unlimited space universe which is like gigantic and never ending and expanding, and we are alone, or there are intelligent creatures out there and they've never made contact. Like, which is more terrifying? And I think to me, being alone, being the only intelligent life forms is fucking terrifying. Like, imagine, like, in all of this giganticness, with this tiny speck of dust with like, has like these intelligent creatures on who think we're, important in the universe. So yeah, I'm a believer, man. I think fucking aliens exist for sure. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm more aligned to like simulation theory. In which case,
fair, totally
something exists because what's running the simulation, but what it is, who knows? Anyway, the reason I ask.
No, you're right. I think I think you're right. I think if it's, we are an organic, if it is not a simulation, I 100% agree. But like, I'm sort of leaning towards simulation at this point.
Yeah, but it's like if there was something that we knew. Whether, hey, we have insight that it's a simulation, whether it's a alien, whether, whatever it might be, and the government was covering it up. Do you think they're justified?
Jeez, that's a tough question. How? Like,
I know. That's kind of what this is asking, though.
It is a little bit.
In a lot of ways.
And Disclosure Day does exactly the same thing. How do you justify that, though? Like, what's the justification? People might not be able to take it? Like, it's like the whole thing about, humans probably
the House of Cards collapses probably is like the justification.
Does it though?
Like,
people need structure. People need that governance. Like, I don't think it does. I think it just changes how we see things. And at this point, people are so fucking jaded. They're just like, oh yeah, aliens, cool. I don't think it changes anything at this point.
I think it would actually create more enlightenment. Like, okay, cool. It's not like it really doesn't all matter as much as we think it does, or like, I guess it depends on what the truth is, right? If we're all just slaves to some higher gods
sure.
that like are capturing our life source, then
that's
maybe
different. That's different.
Maybe it's not as positive of an outcome.
It's the Matrix. Fuck. No, I mean, like, if it's just there are higher life forms, they visited us, and like, one thing to know about this movie. the aliens do a significantly better job of flying and not crashing than they do in Disclosure Day. In Disclosure Day, they crash a lot. I'm like, guys, you need to learn how to fly those fucking planes. I agree with you. I think if you don't go down the depressing route and it's just, some higher being.
It's an interesting dynamic to think about. And
this is right in your wheelhouse. You love a philosophical, weird question.
Well, I mean, I just got to ask a couple when you're watching a movie like this. But I think if you think about the movie though, from like take a step back from all the highfalutin tootin' philosophy.
Yeah,
some really cool sequences.
Totally.
Yeah, some really
interesting exploration of those
moments.
themes we were talking about. Like faith in something that you can't really explain. Like, I think it really builds an interesting narrative without really doing a lot. Like the story isn't, nothing really fucking happens. He has an experience and he goes to a rock. Like that's it. And then, like the end, the visuals. So like they do a lot with a little, I feel like. And I think, and that's one of the charms of Steven Spielberg, that from my youth, my memory of Steven Spielberg. This is my problem with new Steven Spielberg movies. There is a charm about his original films and there's some need to tell a perspective and a story that I just don't see in his new movies. Like I just don't see it. I feel like he's an old man who's a bit out of touch, who's trying to make films. Whereas this, like the scene where he's like, you say there's good scenes where he's throwing like fucking trees and dirt into the house so he can build this monument. Because he's going to, and his wife, at the same time, his wife's trying to leave him, and the kids are kind of helping, and they're being a bit annoying.
Their kids are freaking out. They're like, "Dad's gone crazy."
It's really interestingly explored. Yeah, he fucking did. He went and then he left his wife and his kids. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm going to keep coming back to that. But like, like you're right. Which was your favorite weird scene in this film?
I think the encounter with him is a wild one.
In the beginning.
Where, like the one where he's in the car. And I really or the truck. And I really loved the way like where he first sees it kind of flying over. You can't really tell what it is. Like the design was, whatever the special effects were done pretty well.
In that exact same scene, we follow Ronnie and her child who runs out of the house to go and find, is kind of compelled to go and find the aliens. Is she just a bad mom? Like,
oh, no, the kid's like pretty, also just like, dude.
He's pretty compelled to leave, but at the same time, like the bit, like she just like she finally gets back to him, and then she just leaves him with some old couple while she goes and has a bit of a flirt with this new dude she's met. and then the kid runs off again. You're like, that's just a bad mom at that point. You're like, come on, you're better than this. True. She clearly just needed that D. Sorry, that Roy.
Roy.
Bad parenting all around. Like Roy's just, like ignoring his kids to build a sculpture of this weird thing, and she's just letting her kid leave. I'm like, the 70s were a different beast, dude.
I guess it was safer.
Yeah,
it's a bit safer.
Going back to what you were saying about the about governance and covering up, like I really like how they did the shady government agency in this. Like they just felt like kind of everyday peoples who kind of blended in. A little bit Men in Blackish in a weird way. They kind of just blend in, and they're exploring all of these weird phenomena that are happening and all it's building around them. I kind of really like that. It felt very E.T. I know it sounds stupid, but like watching back E.T.
Well, E.T. follows this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 2-3 films later. Like the difference it works with E.T. is it's a slower build on the quotation marks antagonists. It's sort of like it starts with, it just follows the main guy who basically just has a set of keys, and it's almost like a Western. You follow these jingling like feet that are like falling, and you never quite see it, but you know he's always lurking in the background. Whereas this, they're kind of more, they're more present, and you see them and you know what they're doing, but you don't kind of realize they're the quotation marks bad. They're not really bad guys. There isn't really a bad guy in this, but they're the ones who are trying to keep it hidden, right? So, do you think they do that well? Do you like how they sort of position those guys?
I like how they position them, but like I guess part of like what's interesting to me about this kind of story, and it doesn't really, this is maybe just not the story he wanted to tell. I just don't really believe them to be so even keeled.
What do you
I
mean?
think if this was actually happening, the government would be fucking tripping. Like
Yeah,
they'd be,
terrified.
yeah, there'd be like a lot more anxiety. There'd be a lot of like, should we shoot it? There's like a lot like they just like completely skipped all that. And we're like, let's go to the maestro orchestra strategy. And you're
Let's
just like,
play some
oh, well,
keys.
that's helpful. I'm glad that you guys did that.
I
I'm glad that wasn't your-
100% agree. Do you think this is the first time they've met the aliens, though?
I guess that's maybe what's implied. Because
Yeah.
because it was their first encounter. You think they'd be a bit more cautious. And
It did feel a little bit like they were handing back over prisoners of war. We're talking about the ending here. So the ending
Roy
of this,
just fucking leaves.
right? The ending of this is Roy and Tori. Tori, is that? Am I saying a name wrong again? Ronnie. I always fucking get that wrong. Roy and Ronnie, they go up this they find the mountain, they go up, and they find that there's a government base in the middle of it, and they're actually calling to aliens to come down and join them. The aliens come, and it's this big, beautiful visual spectacle of a piece, right? Like, it's phenomenal. It's epic. But then, like, all these people start coming out. So, like, we talked about at the beginning, where the shady government organization are in the desert, and they're finding these perfectly in shape aeroplanes from 50 years before, and the people who were in them start coming out. And I'm like, this feels a bit like these guys were prisoners of war, and they're being like, this is like a strategic.
It's like a trade. And why did the little guys come out?
That was
What
weird.
was that about?
So fucking
They just
random.
come out,
When
hang,
that big
look at each
fucking
other.
one comes out, is like,
Yeah, that was kind of
that
interesting. I was like,
signify?
weird. I was like, why are they so different? See, there was just a lot of stuff thrown at you there.
I agree, and I think he got a bit
You
lost
know.
there, because I think the cohesive idea there is that it's a contact, and there's there's probably a leader alien, the big weird one, who comes down and makes sure it's all
Spindly
safe.
one.
But then all
Mr.
the other little ones
Spindleman.
come out, and then you see other ones later on. You're like, what are we like? There's too much here. Like, Steven,
Yeah,
reel it in.
too much alien. You probably talked to too many, UFO people, and they all had different little tales. And you had to, like, meld them all.
Have you seen Paul, by the way?
No.
Paul is
Paul?
it's a comedy road trip with what's he called? Nick Frost and who are the guys who do the Cornetto trilogy? Why is my brain gone dead? Hot Fuzz and
Yeah, I don't know their names,
Shaun
but
of the
they're all
Dead.
good movies. There's one of them I haven't seen.
yeah. So it's Simon Pegg. I couldn't remember his first name. It's Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and it is who's the stoner dude from Jonah Hill? Not Jonah Hill. Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. And my brain is really not with it right now. And so Seth Rogen plays an alien. And the whole point is that the US government have known about him this whole time, and they've been colluding with him. And all the movies that have come out ever since he arrived on Earth have been subtly giving the public more and more hints about what aliens actually look like, what they're actually like, what they do, so that when they eventually come out, aliens are all gay. When they eventually
They all come out the closet.
yeah, when they're eventually sort of they are shown to the public, that people aren't freaked out by them because they know what they look like. It's been incepted in us almost over time, and it's a silly stoner comedy that sort of is more of a road trip.
People do say that, though.
right?
That is that's not even, that's
I can
like a
see that
thing
in
that
this.
people say,
I can see that in
so-
this. But there's a lot, if you think about how many different aliens they have and the type, those spacecrafts are very specific. And it's honestly, for 977, what a visual spectacle. It's almost like these two crazy cities on top of each other on a flying saucer with all
That's
these-
exactly what it looks like. I thought that's what they were going to do. Show you the city, but
Me too. I thought they were going to go into it. There was one shot actually just before that I absolutely loved. So while the shady government organization were trying to coax them down with the music, you were looking up at the stars and you were kind of expecting alien spacecraft to burst out of the stars, because it was the ending, right? Everyone knows the ending of this film. Everyone knows that they meet the aliens and it's all big lights and exciting colors.
lights
and I was
and fun
expecting
things.
Right, I was expecting these big spacecrafts to burst out, but then it was really subtly done, and I loved it. It was, you were looking at the stars, and almost like the stars started to move, these tiny little dots.
Yeah, that
and
was
then they
pretty cool.
It was such a cool shot.
There's a lot of great shots in the movie, for sure.
Totally. I was going to say, going back to Disclosure Day, there is something flat about it in terms of like the shots and the visuals that this has in spades, and it's a marked difference between what Spielberg was doing here and what he's doing now. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
Yeah. What did you not like?
It was weirdly paced. It was a long film.
It was I think that was the only the one thing I could point to is like there's not a lot of explaining, and that's partly why it's cool.
Yeah,
which is fine.
I did like
but because
that.
of that. Yeah, I think that's a positive, but I think that because of that, the pacing does suffer. Because you're kind of just like, what's driving the plot? Really, nothing.
Yeah, it's more about the spectacle. And you're right. Like, I'd love to know what your thoughts are around things you didn't like. But I think it's just more of an old school film in that it isn't your typical 3-act structure, and it builds more around the characters, right? Like it's Roy's sort of descent into his obsession and his sort of, it's the cost of that, and you follow that through stages. And I think Ronnie is a microcosm of that at the beginning of the movie. Like the kid gets kidnapped because of his obsession to need to go and see this thing. Like immediately you see that happen. And then he sort of has like the long drawn out version of that, which is fun. The kid comes back, by the way, which I was like, all right, like, has that kid been touched by aliens?
What did they do to him?
What are they doing?
Like that is the one part of this movie that's like, well, what is going on? Because like it's all awe-inspiring in the middle, beginning, and all that, and then they do kind of give you an answer, but not an answer that makes sense. Like, well, we're
that's
just
the question,
exchanging beings. Like,
that's the question. Like, what is like what? It seems like a nice ending. Like, it feels happy. And Roy gets to go and do the thing he wanted to do. But like, what are they? You don't know what the aliens are fucking doing to them. You know what's happening on that weird city spaceship. What's happening? So yeah,
that could be arms.
Yeah, and weird fingers like ET.
I don't know.
It was what's the kid called? Was the kid called Barry? Because that was a really annoying point. Because she was just like, Barry! The whole time. I was like, stop it. You're fucking annoying.
Yeah, I did like what they were doing. Like the personal story is like how obsession can ruin a family and
totally
all that. Like there was actually some depth to that. Those like few scenes where that happened.
I thought the wife was fantastic. I thought she was awesome. The way it gradually fell to pieces, and she was, I mean, it was very, very 70s in how they tried to stay together. Yeah. She just kind of screamed at him. It was almost like that scene in Airplane where she's like, "Get yourself together, woman." You know, it's almost like that. Yeah. But she at least kind of tried for a minute, and then she was just like the scene where he was in the shower in the middle of the night crying, and you're just like, oh God, she's lost him.
Yeah.
I had some
laying down.
Right, just literally in his full clothes. I had some like miscellaneous bits that I was like, I didn't know where else to put them, so I just said other. The first one was Spielberg really loves aliens, right? Like he's really keen on them alien guys. He's done a lot of alien films. I wonder if he knows something. What does he know, DL? What does he know? Has he seen something?
I don't think so. I don't think he knows shit.
Well, here's another one then.
I think Elon might know, but
nah, Elon doesn't fucking know what his toes are. The score of this, the John Williams score, phenomenal.
Yeah, it is good.
It's got like it has like an optimism to it. That's the word I'd use. There's an optimism to it.
Yeah.
There's like a beauty to it, which is kind of hokey, but really works for this film. I did really enjoy the John Williams score. And he's the GOAT, right? It's John Williams. Like, come on. Yeah, here's a question for you.
Anything he does is great.
John Williams or Hans Zimmer, Dre?
Probably Hans Zimmer, but that's just when I grew up.
More modern.
That's probably sacrilege to others. Yeah.
All right, Dale. Here's a question for you. Can you guess for me the current IMDb score for this movie?
8.
Ooh, it's a 7.6. So that's lower than I thought it was going to be. I was a little surprised, but maybe it's like a newer audience coming in and seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, probably.
Well, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is?
84.
It's 91.
Final answer.
Which is more expected based on the reputation of this movie. Like it's got a big reputation, eh? And finally, the Letterboxd score, which is always 3.6, but never 3.6.
This will be higher. This will be like 4.1 or something.
Oh, it's 3.8.
Ooh,
I was a little surprised by that. I was like, surprising scores from the critics and such. And now we've got to ask you the question, DL. Sorry, but I know you had a question coming at me there, but is this better or worse than the most average movie we know, which is Aquaman 2018, and why?
Oh, it's definitely better than Aquaman.
You think it's better? Okay. It's oddly paced. It doesn't really go anywhere. The aliens' intentions are never really explained. Nothing's really explained in this film, DL.
For its place in history, you know.
Sure. And I'm playing devil's advocate. I think I preferred this to Aquaman 2018.
Of course you are.
I did have to watch it over 2 sittings though. I couldn't finish it the first time round.
I was just like too hot and too tired. And
too tired.
I was like, I can't deal with it.
I was literally lying on the sofa and it was like 9:30. I was like, I can't watch this guy getting any more obsessed and psychotic. I can't do it. DL, do you want to finish with a bit of trivia, true or false? Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Trivia, true, trivia, false, DL. The film is shown every night still at the Devil's Tower KOA campground, thereby making it one of the most screened movies ever. Is that true or is that false? And from my understanding, that's where the thing is, the mountain is they're trying to find.
True.
It is true. That's so interesting. Imagine just like your
Imagine
town.
your neighbor.
Yeah.
It's on all the time.
Shut the fuck up.
I fucking hate this movie.
I've said it so many times. Oh my God. Every day for your entire life, you'd just explode.
Yeah.
And imagine you'd get to the point where you'd start going crazy. You'd start being like, what if the aliens are real?
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Trivia, false, DL. The small aliens in the film were actually played by local schoolgirls. Is that true or is that false?
That sounds funny. I want it to be true. True.
It is true. They were in costume for a ballet dance school aged between 8 and 12 years old. Nice. Girls were used instead of boys because Steven Spielberg felt that they moved more gracefully.
Fair.
He wasn't on any islands that
boys
I know of.
Like
but who knows?
Jumping.
Who knows? Graceful 8-year-olds. That's normal. Here you go. Trivia, false, DL. I mentioned his wonderful run coming into this, but a movie just before this came out called Sugarland Express. The theme for that film from 1974 could be heard during the scene where the mothership is communicating with the base. Is that true or is that false?
This is so random. True, sure.
It's not true. You can actually hear the Jaws theme in that exact moment, which is super interesting. Gotcha. But you can hear the Jaws theme, and it's right before they release the human abductees. The fact that this is all IMDb trivia, by the way, so it could be bollocks. But the fact they use the word abductees makes me a little, like I'm not sure what they're
anal probe.
Someone had to say it. Someone had to finally get there. Probing. Finally, then, trivia, false, DL. Cary Guffey really did cry at the end of the movie when he said goodbye to the aliens. Is that true or is that false? My understanding is that's the little child.
It is.
It's Barry!
True.
It is true. Steven Spielberg told him to think of all his friends going away forever. What a fucking traumatic thing to say to a child. That's I know Spielberg gets good performances out of children, but Christ alive, that's that's a little bit deep.
All the people that left ever. Anyway, yeah, exactly. All right.
Imagine your mum's left you forever. Ultimately, I like this film. I get it. I like the I liked it for what it was, but it did feel a little hokey watching it back in 2026 for the first time.
Has hokey moments, but like it is a good movie overall.
Yeah, agreed.
It's obviously
agreed.
Set from where it's set. I'd recommend. Well,
do you want to wrap up the show, DL?
Yeah, go watch this movie if you like.
Do you believe in aliens?
It does.
That's the real question.
Yeah, they're out there, dude. They're out there, whether across the pond or across the stars. We got some kind of alien somewhere. Anyway, to wrap up the show, thanks for listening. I made you lose your 5-star review.
Train of thought.
Yeah, I'm just so sleep deprived that it's real loopy at this point.
Yeah, give us a 5-star, guys. We'd love it if you would. It'd be really helpful. Give us a like, comment, and subscribe.
Podcast Assemble at gmail.com
on Instagram
or Podcast Assemble on Instagram and all that stuff. And thank you, Ava Ramshaw at avaramshaw.com for editing and mastering this week's episode.
She does the best work.
Until next time.
She does the best work.
She's the best.
Guys, if you guys have anyone who might like this nerdy nonsense, feel free to pass it on. We'd love it if you pass the pod. Ground roots over here, baby.
PP.
DL.
P to PP.
Tally ho, baby.
Tally ho. Laheim.
To infinity and beyond.
Yeah.